My name is Benjamin Glover, and welcome back to Younger Voice. Joining me today is Dr. James Joseph, a community advocate and associate minister who's now running in Texas's 18th Congressional District, the seat made vacant by the passing of the former mayor of Houston and former Congressman Sylvester Turner. Would you like to introduce yourself, Dr. Joseph?
Yes, I would. Good morning, good evening, good night, everybody, whatever fits your fancy at this time. I don't know what time it is on your coast, but I just want to welcome you to the podcast. My name is Dr. James Joseph, and I don't stand here before you today as a candidate for Congress, but a man of faith, a father, a servant, and a product of the very community that I'm trying to represent.
Great. So I guess with that, we'll just jump right into the questions. I want to delve very specifically into a part of your past as a community advocate. You've got a background fighting against food insecurity in your community, and I want to ask if you could speak a little bit about how you would combat food insecurity nationwide, especially for young people my age and younger.
Yeah, food insecurities, especially in the 18th Congressional District, is a big issue. And not only in the 18th Congressional District, but around the world, to be honest with you. I run in the 18th Congressional District, and people like Mickey Leland, who also fought for food insecurities in hunger areas, not only in the United States, but in the world, when, trying to feed people in Ethiopia and in other nations. But here in Houston, NASA has a great slogan, and it says, "Houston, we have a problem." And I often use that acronym as well, and when we're talking about food insecurities in Black and brown communities in particular. There are not enough sufficient grocery stores in our communities that would suffice for our young kids, when they're preparing for school and education and sports. We don't have the HEBs and the Krogers and the Randall's food grocery stores in a lot of those communities. And when they do bring those grocery stores into those communities, they're a sub grocery store of the chain of the grocery store of the bigger grocery store that are in the more prevalent communities. So I fight each and every day to make sure we have adequate food, and not only just food, but nutritious food, fruits and vegetables that we know that helps our health. In these Black and brown communities of the 18th Congressional District, diabetes runs rampant, cancer runs rampant, lupus runs rampant, and sometimes it's all about the food that you're eating. So this is not just a one fit hit, but the whole wraparound, not only for our kids, our young folks, but also the parents and the grandparents who also have to sustain and take care of you kids.
Absolutely.
So it's a very huge platform that I've been running with and running for and running on because, there's a cliche that I grew up believing: you are what you eat.
Yeah, absolutely. And specifically, I want to delve into a point you made there. Could you talk a little bit about how intertwined these issues are, these issues of childhood obesity and the unhealthiness of food that is often cheaper in many of these communities, and expanding access for healthier alternatives?
Definitely. And actually, the alternatives and the less nutritious foods are not cheaper. Actually, they're even more expensive than some of the foods and the whole foods that we know that are more beneficial to the body, the growth, and the ailments of many diseases that are rampant in these communities. So we need to make sure that we're feeding nutritious foods, not foods that will continue to have you to go to, your medical needs in hospitals. A lot of people shouldn't eat. I'm not a vegan or any advocate of any kind of food order, but I do believe in eating healthy and also eating in moderation. We all call those them cheat days, but we need to make sure we're having viable foods in our communities. And I want to make sure that we have some of these big box grocery chain stores to come into the 18th Congressional District, because we do have the rooftops, we do have the space, we do have the land, and also, more importantly, we do have the people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. I want to shift gears a little bit, actually, and I want to talk a little bit about your experience as a faith leader. And could you speak a little bit about how that has affected your character as someone running in this race?
Well, good question. I didn't think about that like that. Very good question. I'll try to answer it the best that I can. But my faith has led me along the way all of my life. Actually, my first encounter with the Holy Spirit was at 7 years old, and I remember that day like I could remember yesterday. And it has always led me in my advocacy, and not only in my advocacy, but my lifestyle. Um, yes, I'm just as common as any and everybody else, but prayer goes a long way, and prayer does work. And in my work, I used to always tell ministers before I became a minister that I had a street ministry, because I would always be advocating for the community and also praying for them as well as we would go along. So it works hand in hand, because, yes, I'm a very faithful man. I'm also a man who's a father. I'm also a business owner. I'm also a nonprofit founder and developer. So, and my faith is very strong in each and every one of those entities, because prayer goes a long way once again. And I do believe in Matthew 25, he that feedeth the least of these, feedeth the Lord, in so many words, if I could say it in my own words.
Absolutely. I want to talk a little bit about your district now, actually, District 18. I want to talk about the 18th Congressional District. Specifically, I want to ask you, in your opinion, what is the biggest barrier for young people in your district?
Young people. Now, I have to say this: I'm a father, and I have a 15-year-old who is in public school, and she's a straight A student. She's never brought home a B in her life. And I like to say that she takes that after her father, but I know that's not all true. But I think one of the biggest barriers for young people in our community is in the 18th Congressional District in particular is access. Access to education, proper education, access to job training, access to health and health care, access to the the things that are available to communities. And when I say access, not only the access that's common, but for lack of knowledge we perish. If we don't also go seek that access as well, you know, um, we can benefit better, when we step out of our comfort zone, and making sure that our kids are going to see the doctor. My daughter just told me the other day, Dad, I'm trying out for the volleyball team, this next coming school year. And I said, cool, we've been practicing and getting one-on-ones. And she said, but I need a physical. And I'm like, okay. So now, I of course we do have insurance, praise the Lord. But now, that's another opportunity that's missed when it comes to Black and brown communities of the 18th district, is access to medical doctors, access to medical mental health, access to medical testing for COVID and diseases and respiratory issues when it comes to our young people.
Absolutely. And honestly, I feel like the follow-up question's obvious. As a congressman, how would you expand access to healthcare and education for young people?
Well, definitely we also need young people on the team. We don't need to tell young people what they need to do. We need to access young people and ask them what's happening. What do you think? What are your questions? What would you like to see done Not that, we all have all the answers, but if we ask the right questions, we might could get to a better answer to move forward, when it comes to our young people. Young people or the vein for the next future and the next generation, when it comes to not only politics, but justice and inequality and righting a wrong and not only just righting a wrong, but just creating a better pathway, if I could say it that way, for young people to develop and become, better products of the community.
I see. All right. So once again, I'm going to shift gears a little bit, and I'm going to go a little bit back into the district, but I want to talk about sort of a statewide issue, actually. I want to ask, and I want to give you the opportunity to comment on your reaction to Senate Bill 10, which was recently signed into law by Governor Abbott, which requires public school classrooms to display the 10 Commandments in class.
Mm-hmm. So you just want me to reply to Senate Bill 10 about displaying the 10 Commandments in class?
Yeah, requiring public schools to do that. I really just want to explore the topic with you. It's received mixed reactions from both parties in Texas, so I'm sort of curious. Where do you stand on that issue?
And it's a great question because I'm a minister as well. We already talked about that, and I think that the Word of God should be in everybody. And within everybody, not only through the church, but also through and throughout the community. But when it comes to the 10 Commandments being displayed in class, I think that education should be geared toward education and also the not only teaching to the test, but also teaching to the future and the abilities of young folks. So I believe that more of those things should be in the school, because we have in our community, in particular, the 18th Congressional District, there's a church on every corner. So our kids are not lacking the ability or the access to spiritual knowledge. Before they get to school, believe me, they pass 10 churches with scriptures on billboards, scriptures on the churches, and things of that nature. I think schools should be more into the development of the education of the children.
I see. Great. I think that's a wonderful answer. And now I feel like we can move on and sort of talk about a bigger issue around connected to your own personal experience, but also relevant to this race in general. I want to ask, how do you think we can get more young people involved in their community, in community advocacy, but also civically engaged?
Oh man, great question, because you're right up my alley. That's what I do each and every day. I'm running as a candidate, not going to tell you what I'm going to do, but a candidate that can tell you what I have done when it does come to young folks and communities, all around us. The young folks should be involved in all aspects of the community when it comes to civic engagement. And what I've done is I've employed and operated with young folks running we fed over millions and millions of meals to our community each and every week. And we use young folks each and every day to do that. I can say this, I'm not getting any younger myself, so my daughter, she's a very good person to come and work on side of me and learn from my teachings. She can lift those and some of the other boys and girls can do the heavy lifting, while I can be the brainchild guiding and leading them in the direction and mentoring them in the right way when it comes to working with our community. And they also work with our senior citizens as well, when it comes to helping them fill out applications. We had over 452 homes built for our senior citizens for absolutely $0. But all the seniors needed was help for our young folks to fill out the application online, because a lot of those seniors are not acclimated, to use computers and know how to navigate that system. So we use young folks for that as well.
Great. I think that's a great answer. Very well rounded, especially to your community specifically, but also to communities across America. Um, So moving on to the lightning round. It's a short, just a few questions. Should be pretty easy. First thing that comes to your mind, and feel free to expand on your answer as much as you want. So first of all, who is your favorite politician or statesman, past or present?
Wow, wow. That's a good one. That's a good one because there are a few. Um, there are a few. Of course, comes to mind, and I'll start with present, and then we'll go back. You probably start. I'd start the other way. Uh, Raphael Warnock, congressman of in Georgia. I am very, very impressed with Raphael Warnock, how he approaches politics. It's a unique approach to politics. It's not a common approach to politics, but it's the approach that reaches more of the people than the political adversaries. So there's more. I could say there's more sweetness to the honey when you're trying to work with people instead of fighting against the adversaries each and every day. So Raphael Warnock, he's one of them. And also, I would say, um, you know, and this is going to be very uncommon. Al Gore. Al Gore. He's another one because Al Gore stands for climate control, and he also fights for independence when it comes to battling issues of environmental justice. I'm a very big advocate when it comes to environmental justice, especially in the Black and Brown communities, fighting for against cancer clusters and also fighting against the creosote cancer causing clusters in our community. So I would say Al Gore is another politician who I admire, and I also admire his docileness when it comes to politics as well. Very calm, but very educated and knowledgeable about the things that are happening in and around our earth, because the young people are the next generation who will have to deal with the dangers and damages of polluting our communities.
Absolutely. I think those are two really great answers. Actually, could I delve into that environmentalism point a little bit? I want to specifically ask how as a congressman, you would work to protect our environment for future generations.
Definitely. We have organizations that we're already working with, such as Environmental Protection Association, which is EPA, and also Union Pacific Railroad, and also others that we work with to try to make sure that these pollutants, such as concrete batch plants, don't come into these communities of color, which most of them have no zoning. So therefore, there's no ordinances to keep them out legally. But when it comes to the health of the community, therein lies a huge problem. So I would work with those organizations, the EPA, those concrete batch planters, and make sure we're doing a more conducive justice to the communities of the 18th Congressional District.
Great, great. Right. I'm about to ask you the easiest question you're going to get in this entire race. I guarantee it.
Yeah, right.
What is your favorite thing about America?
You know what my favorite thing about America is, and I thought about that even before now, and that is actually one of the pinnacle things that I'm running on for my race. The favorite thing about America is opportunity. Opportunity in America has never been like it is today. I'm an African American man living in America, and no, things are not like I would love them to be, but things are not like they used to be. And there is now a more opportunity for us to come together as Black people, as white people, as Asian people, as Hispanic people, and people from overseas, and for immigration countries to come together, because the America it's still the land of opportunity. I mean, you can see it right now today with things that are going on. We may not all agree, but the opportunity is here in America.
Absolutely. That's a great answer, I gotta say. Uh, and then I'm just gonna move to our last lightning round question here. Why should young people vote for you?
Young people should vote for me because I'm the best candidate in the race. Not only that I'm the best candidate in the race, I've lived the course of the people in the 18th Congressional District when it comes to challenges with police officers. I've lived the challenges as a young person when it came to education. I've lived the challenges as a Black man in the 18th Congressional District when it came to being blackballed. I lived the opportunities in the 18th Congressional District when you're the best candidate in the House, but you don't even get the opportunity to present yourself. I've also lived to see the rise of the person that I've become through those adversities as well. Because those things may have hindered you, they don't stop you from moving forward. So I've seen the devastation of each and every individual in the 18th Congressional District, but I've also seen the opportunities in the 18th Congressional District, and I'm a product of the rise of the 18th Congressional District.
Absolutely. And now that we're done with the lightning round, I'm just going to bring us to the last portion here. I'm going to give you a real general question and take as much time as you need to answer it. Why are you running?
Well, Benjamin, this is not my first race, and I've been not only that I've lived in the community, I've been a product of the community of the 18th Congressional District, and I've seen the devastation of missed opportunities. I've seen the devastation of sabotaged opportunities, and I think I'm the person that can develop, the young people in the community and show them and navigate and be the leader to show them what they can be, what they can become, no matter what obstacles that are put in their way. Benjamin, I'm a college grad, but the opportunity for that didn't come as easy that it may have came for you and others. When I went to college on my first go around, I did not succeed. I had to drop out, come home, get a job, and help my family survive. But the opportunity came again, once again, Benjamin, in 2014. I enrolled back in college at the age of 44, and I enrolled as a freshman. And I completed 5 years, and I graduated out of the Barbara Jordan Mickey Leland School of Public Affairs. And then I didn't stop there. I went on to work on my master's, and then went on to receive honorary doctorate in divinity, theology, and humanitarianism. So I've come a long way, and I want to show the young people that no matter what obstacles you face, you can overcome them, and not only overcome them, but you can also live a high and good life in a very special way here
Great.
in the 18th Congressional District.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Joseph. It's been wonderful having you on. We've had a great conversation. Oh, sorry. Thank you. It's been wonderful speaking to you, but that's our show for now. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Benjamin Glover, and this has been A Younger Voice.
Yes, sir. Keep doing what you're doing. God bless you, and God bless the 18th Congressional District.